Note to self, don't try battling while late at night, otherwise you're gonna make a lot of misplays and get yourself to a rocky head start. That's what happened when I did this battle, but at least I pulled myself together in the end. Anyways, I'm beginning the match. You don't really have to see the team preview. Just JK. Let's go over the team preview. Okay, my opponent Dark1laser has a pretty standard OU team. Well, standard-ish. There's the Tyranitar, the Heatran, the Slowbro and Amonguss. Very interesting combination. Nonetheless, makes a good defensive core, especially when people are preparing for Politoed and Landorous these days. Fortress over there makes a good spinner and stealth rocker. And that Landorous over there, well, yeah, too bad for him. Landorous Eye is officially banned. Without further ado, I'm beginning the match. I leave my Scizor. He goes to Tyranitar, and I go U-turn out, knowing he probably will want to switch out. And I go into my Ferrothorn, decide to set my rocks up just to set up some priority when hit KOs, or some priority sweeps. He sends us his Amonguss, that's fine with me. I'm sending my Ferrothorn for sleep fodder anyways, because you don't want to sleep fodder your sweepers, you always want to sleep fodder one of your walls. Because yeah, they do nothing but wall stuff. He goes into his Heatran, and I believe I go into my Infernape. Yes, I do go in my Infernape. Go for the streak for the Mach Punch. My opponent makes a smart move, goes to his Slowbro. So my priority here is to get as much damage off that Slowbro as possible. So I go for Mach Punch first. He resists the hits really nicely. Then I go for the Thunder Punch, get some super effective damage off. But what I really should have done here, if I had to play differently, is actually go to U-turn out to my Scizor and then KO the Slowbro off. Silly me. But I guess that's how the game plans out in the end. I go into my U-die, my Latios. I go for Draco Meteor and I was like, shoot! He switches to Tyranitar and I'm gonna lose my Latios early in the game. Guys, if you have to sacrifice your Latios at around the first 10 turns, that's a very bad sign that you're gonna have a rocky head start. So he switches out the Heatran. I predict that pretty nicely. Go for the superpower and kill off the incoming Heatran. Didn't know why he didn't go to Slowbro though. He goes into Slowbro. I U-turn out of there because I don't want to get burned by Scald. Ugh, burns suck. I go to my Jellicent. He goes for the Scald. I disable his Slowbro Scald, so I end up so he ends up switching out on me. He goes to Amonguss. I keep Scout spamming, hoping for the burn, but for me, I get so unlucky, I don't get the burn on the first 2 attempts. When Scout's actually around a 1/3 chance of getting a burn. So I don't see any point of staying in and switch out a few rounds later. Let's see, do I switch out? Yeah, I go recover first, then I switch out afterwards. And at this point, there's a little stall war. So he switches us Amonguss, having no point to stay out. I go for the taunt, forces a switch into his Tyranitar, and whittle it down to the point that either my Scizor or Ferrothorn can kill with a Gyro Ball or Bullet Punch. Yes, and I have to have no choice but to stay on this time because if I get Pursuit Trapped, it's going to be really bad. He uses Fortress. I go for the incoming Scald. And I don't know why he did this in the first place, considering Scald's like a guaranteed 3-hit KO on the incoming Fortress, which is totally bad for him at this point. He goes for a Wood Switch, which is a very smart move. And he goes into Landorous, and I believe I switch out to my Ferrothorn. Yes, I do. I do switch on my Ferrothorn just to rack up some Iron Barbs damage and get it to a range to where Gyro does a plenty to him. He uses Tyranitar. I decide to do the typical Gen 4 tactic and wait out my sleep turns in one sitting. So wait for it. So I don't get the first turn wake, which kind of sucks. He goes for it, so that allows his Landorous Therian to go ahead and intimidate on me. I was like, okay, this is not good. But at least the good news is I get Iron Bars damage, which is very nice. And my Ferrothorn works in like 3 turns, so I go for Jarba, does a large chunk to him despite getting the attack drop. He goes in a Slowbro, and I believe I switch out here. Yes, I do switch out. And I switch out to my Rotom, go for the Volt switch. No one's probably going to kill him off, even at 56 special attack EVs. Yep, the Ezolote, my Rotom doing plenty of work to that Slowbro. I go into my Akane, a female Scizor. He goes to his Landorous, and I go for the Bullet Punch, kill off the Landorous Therian. I was like, phew, 1 threat out of the way. But he has this Amonguss on my face. I was like, okay, this looks totally bad. If he switches or spores me, I am totally screwed. He goes to Spore, and I was like, damn, do I have to stay up those sleep turns again? At this point, he goes for Synthesis, tries to stall me. I was like, you know what? I am pissed. I'm gonna actually start Java boss battle once as soon as I wake up. He sends us Tyranitar. I do not know why he does that, because if he switches his T-Tar twice, he probably dies to rocks. So in my honest opinion, I probably would have stayed in with my Amonguss and fought my Tyranitar later on in the game. He goes for Crunch, and I rack up nice Iron Bars damage, so that's the reason why I said, okay, why did you stay on your switch out to your T-Tar? That's a very bad move in the first place. He goes into this Amonguss again, knowing that he probably wouldn't try to spore me, considering, yeah, I just wait out sleep turns anyways. He goes for Giga Drain, tries to get some HP back. Doesn't work for him, as I keep on spelling me Dragon Ball. He goes for another Giga Drain, and this is where the stall war begins. So in order to break that stall, I literally just keep on going for Jabas into the Amonguss dice, or keep on fishing for a crit. More Giga Drains, and more Gyro Balls. At this point, the match is over if I land a crit on the Amonguss, which I actually do get later on. Okay, one more Gyro Ball and it takes it right out. He goes for Synthesis, and this is where the crit actually matters, because if I didn't get that crit, he was going to keep on synthesizing and stalling me out of Gyro Ball PP, but instead I end up killing him with a critical Gyro Ball. He goes for Will Switch, and I was like, okay, this is pretty much game over for him. I go to for one last Gyro Ball, and that's the game. Good game, Dark1laser, and Himiko to Berkomeister signing off. Be sure to leave a sub, like, and a comment, because that helps a lot. Peace out.